woman, mother of my earth, black woman. You gave me birth. You can truly see what's in me. You can help me be the best that I can be. You feed me fire when I'm on the wire, keeping me calm when I'm getting tired.
That was for you, black. That was for you, black woman.
Black woman. That was for you. That was for you, boo boo. That was for you, boo boo. So anyway, this is the Dice Raw report. I got my main man, Truck North.
You do.
How you doing, Truck?
What's good with you, man?
Oh man, I don't fucking know. You know, I'm still dealing with what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
I have some personal things going on, ladies and gentlemen, that I won't be able to share with you publicly. But I will be.
I'm glad you're here, though. You know
thank you.
Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Good spirits. You know
I'm in great spirits, and with a little help from some actual spirits.
You know
what I'm saying?
That's a must.
Oh yeah, of course.
This segment is brought to you by Wine and Spirits.
Wine and Spirits. No, actually, it's brought to you by Starburn Audio. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Shout out. Shout out Starburn. You know what I'm saying? Open mic. What's up, player? What's up, player? G5 player.
Open mic Eagle the Legend.
Stretch limousine player. I'm just joking. I couldn't imagine Mike in a stretch limousine. You know what I'm saying? But hey, anyway, I mean, what we want to start at, man?
The black one. It's such overarching. It's vague, but it's really to the point. It's a really hard thing to broach. So it's like
it is, but it's a hot button right now. It's a problem. It's a lot of people
women,
are upset.
Listen to black women, believe black women. You know what I'm saying? All that within reason.
Yes, believe all women
within
reason. But that's not even what we talk about. That's not even what we talk about. All right, let's get right to it because all right, we're real specific with it, right?
Yeah, you got to be.
All right, let's start at the top. Nicki, Mom-naj. This is what this episode is dedicated to.
What did Nicki do?
Nicki, you know what's so funny? Here's the thing. She didn't do nothing. All she did was take a few pictures like she typically do after the baby. I saw a few pictures online, and you know me. Look, I ain't even going front. Like, I'd make cocktails out of Nicki Minaj's bathwater. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be serving them Jones at the crib. Like, you come up my crib, like, what you want? You want like a Grey Goose? Or you want some Nicki bathwater?
I'm not coming.
Well, I mean that's what I'd be serving at my if I was ever had the chance, and I'd cut throats to do it.
I mean,
I'd cut throats to drink Nicki Minaj's bathwater.
I think there'd be a slight plasticky sort of aftertaste.
I'd stab my homie, my best friend in the back. D's over there right now. If D was dating Nicki Minaj, I'd do to him what Meek Mills did to Safari. I'd catch him cheating, and I'd fucking take a snapshot, and I'd send it to her. I'd cut throats. No. I'd cut throats to fucking drink Nicki Minaj's bathwater. You goddamn right.
It's a no dirty Mackin zone. I can't condone that behavior.
I would cut throats.
I can't condone dirty Mackin.
I would cut throats. I'm just being clear. I'm just being clear. In case you ever become between me and Nicki Minaj, you know where I stand.
I don't want no heat. I don't want no parts of.
You know where I stand.
So what did she do besides? I mean, she sat in the chair butt naked.
Sat in the chair butt naked. She had her hands, I guess, tastefully. Crossing her naked bosoms.
Okay.
I guess that's the tasteful.
And motherfuckers are upset about it? Like,
no. People aren't upset about it. And I'm not upset about it either, but I'm just... It leaves me with a few questions after the pregnancy and the baby, the new baby. Congratulations, Nicki Minaj and her new husband. My question is, an artist with that kind of success that's done 60 million single sales.
You think she ain't gonna get
75 million album sales under her bra strap. Does she still have to get naked? Why is she posing naked? She's almost a 40-year-old African American woman.
I mean, I think that's part of the cocktail. I think that's part of the, you do what got you here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't think it's the time? You don't think she's able to level up maybe and say, hey, I'm going in a different direction now?
I think if her content was different, possibly.
Okay.
But considering that the train that she's on is one that she sort of set the course for, she competing against wet-ass pussies out here. Wow. So,
but that's my other point. So that's the even bigger point. Why do black women have to take off their clothes to sell records? I mean, is this a must? I mean,
I don't think they have to. I think it's just a simpler route. It's an easier route, probably. I mean, it comes with its own pitfalls as any other. Probably as many pitfalls as it does come with not taking your clothes off and trying to be a female rap superstar. You know what I mean? They have their own sets of, it has its own pitfalls. You know what I mean? So like
you're just saying fuck it. They should just do it. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying no.
Do whatever it takes.
It doesn't. See, it don't do nothing for me. Like
it doesn't do anything for you.
Not at all. I have no wants to hear about how great you think your pussy is. I don't care.
I don't know. Some of those songs.
Am I finna find out?
Some of those songs I kind of get into. Truck. I'm not gonna lie. I listen to a little JT.
I don't.
When I'm riding down the street, I may bump a little bit of Megan Thee Stallion. I think she's a good rapper.
Are you saying Wet Ass Pussy wasn't one of your favorite songs?
I'm saying
I never listened to Wet Ass. Now Wet Ass Pussy is something it made me blush. I mean, it was so raunchy. I mean, I was uncomfortable in my seat listening to that fucking thing. I mean, it was smoking hot. I mean, it was porn. It was lyrical porn.
I ain't into it, man.
Well, here's the thing. The reasons why I'm not into it, it's not even because of my own personal taste. I think hold a second, producer, you can't talk on the show because you don't have a mic. My producer's chiming in, ladies and gentlemen. His name's D. D, the producer, is what we call him down here. And he's very passionate. Yeah, I need him off camera. Yes, please, thank you. And off mic, please, thank you. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, the Wet Ass Pussies, the Nicki Minaj. I don't have nothing wrong with it. I love it. I love seeing them. I love the outfits, all that shit, right? But my question is, why doesn't Taylor Swift have to do it?
I mean, because Taylor Swift. See, and this is sort of what we sort of get back to, where it's like, rap music is sort of the only art form that doesn't have any prerequisites, right? So being that it doesn't have any prerequisites, you automatically become a professional. An amateur becomes a professional the moment they do anything in rap music. So,
but I don't agree with that though.
But Taylor Swift was patterning herself after songwriters who came before her and learning how to play fucking guitar and different fucking instruments and shit. It wasn't like that bitch talking about her pussy. I could talk about my pussy and get money too.
Why did Queen Latifah talk about her pussy? You know?
I mean, other people did.
Why didn't Boss talk about her pussy?
I think
female rapper Boss.
This is sort of the thing that happens though. Like nothing succeeds like success, right? Mm-hmm. So you see something working, you're gonna fucking patent yourself after it.
MC Lyte, never
Little Kim
about
to Kaya to fucking Trina to Wet Ass Pussy. Like it's. I mean, Nicki D did Daddy's Little Girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that was the Wet Ass Pussy of
you know
that
what I'm
time.
saying? It was like, ooh.
But here's the thing.
That's kind of tongue in cheek.
Here's the thing, though. The influence and the impact that it has on society and kids that listen to it. So is the warning labels enough
very damaging
now? I mean, and that's all I'm saying.
It's super damaging.
But also, my question is, who are the people who are greenlighting these records? Like, I mean, this is just my perspective. I think Nicki Minaj is great. I think Megan Thee Stallion is great. I think she's a wonderful artist. I listened to her. That first song, Big Old Freak. I mean, what I'm saying is, I'm just confused of why it's being so. That message is so heavily pumped into black women now. And I've actually seen the change in women that are fans of these particular artists. Mm-hmm. I know some women before they started listening to the music, and now I know them after the music. Mm-hmm. And it's people, and I see an overall change in society. So people say, well, that's just them women, or they're weak women, or you might know some weak women that were heavily influenced by those artists. No. I think that society has been heavily influenced by these artists, and I'm curious to know, like, how the narrative switched so heavily to sex, and is it hip hop's fault? Like the male-dominated hip hop field, have we called women bitch and hoe so much that now they identify themselves as that? I mean, like, this is a question I'm asking.
Good question. I mean, and this is just my, the humblest of opinions. I don't really give that much power to rap culture in that way. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I do think it has a part to play with a sort of greater.
My mic is fucked up.
A greatest. Like the world is smaller. We're constantly bombarded with images. Our attention span is only 2.5 seconds and shit. It's like it's a lot of fucking it's a bombardment of images so in that sort of sequence, the things that are going to stick around the longest are going to be the most shocking. They're going to be the most motherfucking edgy. They're going to be the most, you know what I'm saying,
Truck,
on or over the line.
Truck, you have a daughter. So when you're in a car and wet ass pussy comes on, I mean, are you just let
but
it
see,
play?
that don't happen.
You just let it play?
That don't happen.
I'm just joking.
No, real
Do you
thing.
have a daughter, Truck, by the way?
I take care of a kid. She's not my daughter, but she's my daughter, but she's not my daughter. You know.
So you don't give a fuck, really. You
I
care, but you don't really give a fuck.
I absolutely give a fuck because I don't.
You kind of care, but you don't.
No,
really care.
I absolutely care because I don't, and I'm with her every day. I do not allow her. She don't listen to the radio.
Okay, good.
She's been listening to the same playlist of music since she was 2. She's fucking 8 now. You know what I'm saying? And it's all fucking Isley Brothers, Marvin Gaye, fucking Anita Baker. Like it's that sort of. She don't have a concept of what the fuck is going on in the outside world music wise until she's around other kids.
Or
I think it's informed her sensibilities in a different way because she's able to appreciate music that doesn't have to be salacious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want her to be a fucking 40-year-old trying to have a hot girl summer. You know what I mean?
But my question is, so what happens to her when she's influenced by that outer stuff? Like, how do you handle that?
She'll be able to contextualize it differently.
But had that come up in conversation?
No, I mean not, because it's not purposeful. It's just I don't listen to this shit, so she's not gonna listen to it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so like but that's not a way that I think that most people police their children.
I think most people should.
And I think there should be some police. I think that's a great idea what you do, but my question is, how does a parent that child is being influenced by these things, how do they combat it? Like how do you go against something that's got millions and millions of marketing dollars that's being pumped in it, that's basically changing the way that your kids
That's what
think?
I'm saying. It's like you really can't avoid it. Like it's pop culture, and once it becomes pop, like it used to be, it used to be counterculture. You know what I'm saying? It like Luke, like booty music, like bass music, like that shit used to be counterculture.
Right.
It's the culture now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like if you're going to consume media in any sort of way, or in the way that people typically consume it, whether they're scrolling or fucking, I don't know, doing TikToks or whatever, you're not gonna be able to avoid it.
All right. So my last question before we even switch over is, so what are your thoughts on this though? I mean, when you see,
I think we could do better. I think it's lazy.
Okay, you think it's
lazy. I think it's lazy.
But also, what about the gangster narrative, though? Was the gangster narrative, was that lazy?
I don't think the gangster narrative, it became lazy. It probably went on a bit too long. And because gangster music used to come with consequences. And that's starting to happen again. But after gangster music probably, it leveled off, and then 50 came and he didn't die. And then it got the era of the super nigga was re-ushered back in and shit. I don't know. I think it got lazy up to a certain point, but a lot of gangster music was some of our first forays into storytelling. You know what I mean? From different perspectives.
Right. I agree with that. But and like you said, I think that it used to show consequences. I mean,
it had consequences.
At Slick Rick, at the moment I feared, after he became a big drug dealer, he wound up getting, raped in prison.
Gangster's life ain't fun.
A gangster's life ain't fun, man. Just diamond rings, shiny things, jacuzzis, Jaguars, bad broads. Gangster's life ain't fun.
Ain't
I was like,
fun.
Wait, it's like the gangster's life actually looks phenomenal.
Sounds great, actually.
But shout out Rusty Cundiff, whatever the hell he is. Rusty, man, you need to make some new shit.
He still get busy.
He is. He's getting busy.
He's still getting busy. He's still writing and shit.
Let's not get.
Yeah, you good.
My producer's talking again, over
that
the show.
Happens sometimes, man. You watch Frasier. Roz be talking.
Roz be talking.
Roz be talking.
Is D like Roz?
I mean, in this
consider
instance,
him the male Roz.
Male Roz is crazy.
All right. Anyway, so I mean,
I think the way that a lot of women, and I don't want to sound like that dude and shit, but it just. That whole nothing succeeds like success shit. Like, all y'all can't be bad.
They're not.
But they feel super fucking bad.
They're not.
Shit.
I mean, some
and a lot of it has to do with the
average.
constant affirmations, the constant bad bitch affirmations in music that don't really apply to you, bitch.
Kevin Sandwich.
Yeah, so I mean, so that's my other thing. So when I mentioned what the podcast is going to be about, a female friend of mine, she instantly like flew into a rage, which is why I wanted to ask you, just because I know you would have like a different opinion than mine, but it kind of similar. So, but you would give me a little devil's advocate on this. So when I said it to her, what the podcast is about, she's like, "So you're asking the question like, why do black women have to take their clothes off to sell records?" Or I said, "No, I'm not saying they do. I'm just asking, do they have to take off their clothes in order to sell records?" And she said, "Well, I just want to know why black men feel the need to police African Americans' clothing and what we do with our bodies."
There we go, right there.
And I said, "Well, that's not what I'm asking at all."
But that's what it gets turned into.
But that's what it got turned into.
How dare you police what a woman does with her body?
And it had nothing to do with that. What I'm saying
it never does.
Black woman, hey, Beyonce, I see you selling, you got more Grammys than anybody ever. And she's crawling around on the floor in a bikini. Now, mind you, Jay-Z wouldn't let that happen unless he thought that she was being shown in the most absolute positive light. And, shout out Beyonce and Jay-Z. But my question is, I've never seen Celine Dion crawling across the floor in a bikini. And I just want to know what makes Celine Dion so much better than Beyonce? What makes Taylor Swift so much better than Megan Thee Stallion? I don't get it. And I don't think it's fair that the woman who lives in my house has to crawl around on the floor in a G-string in order to sell records or walk down the street in a G-string. Like Lizzo. She shows up, beautiful Lizzo with her big, beautiful self, has to show up to the game with her butt out.
I'm good.
I'm just saying. I don't want to... I'm just saying.
I'm good. And it's not because of her.
But why does she feel the need that she has to do that, or feel the need that that's appropriate when I never seen Katy Perry or what's one of the fat?
You're not gonna see Adele doing that shit.
Well, she's not fat anymore. When Adele was fat, you never saw Adele walk into a basketball game with a G-string up her
because
butt.
Black music traffics in extremities.
Well, I know that, but why is that acceptable?
It's not a matter of it being acceptable. It's a matter of the rules to the game that you choose to play and shit. Like,
but why
the shit,
is that?
we know the
why
shit,
do we
what
accept that?
I mean, because we've always been hypersexualized, or at least in other people's sort of perception of ourselves until it became our own perception. You know what I'm saying?
So when
hyper masculine,
hyper
fucking sexual. When do we? I mean, dude, it takes a nation. You feel me?
Yeah, to hold us back.
Takes a nation to anything. To get over, to get back, to get under, get through. It takes a fucking nation. It's like, yo, you gotta want more. What Mike say? Is it in you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. So my question is, so when you hear that argument come back though, so when you say something like, so what do you think I should have said to her? Is my question. So I said, I basically said to her, I said, listen, that's not what the question was, and she kind of flew back off into another rant about.
Because in therapy, you'll learn that a lot of times when you're not able to have a discourse about the actual issue, what you'll do is deflect. And it's a classic fucking trope. It's a classic fucking technique. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the policing of your bodies. We're talking about why do we have to traffic in these things for these things to be successful.
Exactly. And I just want to know, why is it packaged that way, and why do we hold on to it so much? I mean, the gangster narrative and now this bad bitch narrative, I mean, they're kind of like...
Here's the little known secret, though. Within the paradigm of nothing succeeds like success, because motherfuckers are going to copy whatever's popping to sell records. If nobody's selling records, why you got to fucking do it?
But that's the other twist.
They're not really selling... They're selling a bunch of streams. They ain't really selling no records.
But it's generating a lot of revenue.
Yeah, but for who?
But that's my other point.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so who's pulling the strings with this stuff?
We all know who's pulling the strings, man.
Oh, my God.
You know what it is.
So, I mean, when do we ever say, okay, it's time to take over our own media, take over our own narratives? Because obviously, whoever's pumping this narrative doesn't have our best interest at heart.
That's the thing, though, because you have a bunch of motherfuckers competing independently against these sort of machines. Like, within the last 12, 13 years, we sort of figured out we can do the shit ourselves, right? But you're still competing against the machine that propagates those images. So in the pursuit of that competition for that attention, you're gonna do the same fucking shit.
But is that because of a lack of education?
No, it's just.
Do you think people know better? Do you think they have a choice?
It's a lack of individual.
Do you think these
thought.
people have a choice?
Absolutely, you have a choice.
But if they don't have an education, how do they have a choice? If they don't know what they're doing is totally fucked up, how do they know that they should stop it?
I think inherently you know.
No.
You don't think so?
No, not at all. I think some people
like
do.
you don't think that you like, yo, I ain't got to do this. I'm really actually talented. I could wow you with my talents. I think that because talent isn't a premium anymore.
I think most people don't know their talents. I mean, when we're talking about most people,
most people ain't talented.
We're not talking about
that's
people
the thing.
Who have this other thing or these other lives where the daytime they have to go through this hardship, but then they have this magical gift that they can express themselves through. I'm not talking about those people. I'm just talking about just the people who you're talking about. Like they can do different things. They can have a different narrative, but I don't think they have an idea that they can do something that's different. I don't think I don't think it's coming to their brain to say, yo, I don't have to rap about street shit or killing motherfuckers. I think that that's all they know. And the sad part is I think that a lot of it, most young people that I run into, I feel like the only place they learn anything is from a song or like an Instagram.
Which sort of speaks greater to what the real issue is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the real issue is motherfuckers don't read. The real issue is motherfuckers don't really study. Motherfuckers don't. But do
people have access to books?
Yes.
How? Where?
The world is at your fingertips.
But how do you know what
the entire world?
So I'm just saying, okay,
you can ask any question.
Hood guy.
You can throw any question into the internet.
Hear me out.
All right,
hear me out. You're a regular hood guy or a hood gal, and you say, hey, I want to find some good literature to check out. What do you think they're going to Google? I mean, like the average, like what do they Google? What is in their search? What is in their search bar?
You have to, honestly,
I'm saying, what's in their search bar?
Good. What's a good book to read?
Okay.
Good books.
I like that.
Classic literature. Anything.
How many people do you think do that? Even know how to even get to that point?
If you know where to find the closest fucking pizza and bar and grill, if you can,
that's not true.
It is. If it's the same search parameters.
I think that you have to have a certain kind of exposure in order to know what's right or what's wrong or what you should do or what you shouldn't do or how to access certain information, because a lot of times people just don't even know what to search for. But anyway, we want to talk about the issue at hand, which is the bad bitch narrative. And the reason why I wanted to even bring this up is because a lot of heat's been coming on this one guy, Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
And have you seen any of his videos?
I have watched quite a few. I mean, not for any particular research, but just for his perspective. And a lot of times, dare I say, his perspective be spot on. It's just a matter of whether you're open enough or realistic enough within yourself to receive that information in a positive and constructive way. You know what I mean? Like, everybody ain't a 10. But because the music that you listen to has you saying over and over to yourself, I'm a bad bitch, that don't necessarily make it
you start
true.
to believe it.
Can't believe your own bullshit.
But I only saw one video, and from what I got from it, I thought he was, saying some stuff that I thought I agree with, a lot of it. And I think it's a hard pill to swallow for somebody who is, or any woman, because there's two kinds of desperate women. You got the desperate woman who wants to get married, the woman who never wants to get married, and the woman that wants to have a baby and the woman that doesn't want to have a baby. They're two desperate ends of
the spectrum.
You know what I mean? So, but the funny thing I thought about it, the person that introduced it to me was one of my homies. He's like, yo, you never seen Kevin Samuels? I said, nah, I ain't never seen. He said, yo, you got to see this shit. He's like, this shit gonna blow your mind, man. You're gonna be dying laughing. So we watch a video of it, and my homie, his daughter comes in, and he lets it keep playing while his daughter's in there. And I was like, holy shit. Then he clipped it. But he let that sink in a little bit. And I respected that. You know what I'm saying? I said, he giving it tough love. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's needed. You got to be tough. I mean, tough love is really the only love. If a person's going to coddle you and say, hey, tell you shit that's not true, that's going to lead to your detriment, you know what I'm saying, then that's fucked up. You know what I mean? And I think that it's not just a black women issue. I think it's an individual thing.
I think it's societal, man.
I'm talking about with Kevin Samuels.
Okay,
like the people that he's talking to. Like the women he's talking to, I don't think that those women represent black women as a whole. They're just a few women that are having this conversation with this guy who's clearly not sympathetic to whatever the excuses are that people make up in their lives for the outcomes that they're not getting in their lives.
Yo, hot take. I don't think a woman of a certain, and this is going to sound crazy, I don't think a woman of a certain security even gives a fuck about calling in. A woman with a certain amount of security in herself and who she actually is not calling into that fucking show. The only people to call into that show is to have themselves attempt to have somebody else reaffirm the positive imagery that they have about themselves. That's the only reason. But you're not getting it.
Yeah, but why go to the hardest critic?
I mean, they're crash dummies and everything. Fucking crash dummies.
You know, my thing is that I thought the shit was hilarious when he told the woman that I watched. He said, men, we don't pick women because of financial status. And he says, we pick women based off looks. So he's like, if you want a guy that makes, this kind of money or a lot of money, because I guess they were saying they wanted to date guys that made a lot of dough. And he was giving them the real life statistics on how much money certain men make and the age demographic where men start to hit their financial stride and all that other stuff, and just stuff that was falling on ears. But he told her to put up a picture of Beyonce and her, and he said, "Do you think people will say that y'all are equally beautiful?"
And
she said yes, and he said, "You're out of your mind."
That's the thing that he doesn't give enough. He doesn't get. That's the shit that I appreciate about it. Is that through his own methods, he's trying to steer women into a more
productive outcome.
Not even productive. Just steer to the mean. Like most of y'all motherfuckers is average. There's nothing but your idea. But your idea
to get to a more productive outcome.
Right. Because your idea of average is, I don't want to date a dude who makes $30,000, $35,000 a year. Right. But you outnumber motherfucking niggas 8-1. You don't even have the smarts to know about the competition that's at play,
or even acknowledge it. It's like, yo, they know the competition at play, but they're ignoring it.
And you're just supposed to get chosen based off of your idea of yourself. And what he really does is he just steers motherfuckers into that, like, yo, what's wrong with this average shit? You're not what you think you are. You know you're not what you think you are, because if you knew that, you wouldn't have called.
Right. But a lot of women are upset though, like feminists and African American feminists, and even like what's the guy, brother
Omar?
Omar, yeah, they're going at it. Did you see that?
I've seen some of it.
What's your thoughts on
it? I mean, this is weird to have a Motep dude, and this is like Hotep to the second power is fucking Motep. To have those dudes sort of be at odds with, I don't know, man. It's they represent two different things. You know what I'm saying? But I think they have the same.
But they're pinned against each other.
They're pinned against each other, but they sort of have the same sort of thought of community. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Samuels. I mean, say what you will, but it's a productive conversation for the community overall. All you can't, like, yo, fucking shit, like, and not to be that dude, but like 45, 50 years old, 3 or 4 kids, high mileage pussy, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think your options are?
Called when it was 50.
What do you think your options are?
I watched the clip and somebody called and said he was 50.
I'm gonna get crucified for that too.
Yeah. Somebody said, you won't get crucified.
That's cool. I don't care. I'm secure.
But I saw a clip this morning, like I watched just a little bit of it, and the woman said she was 50 years old. And he said, "Are you married?" And she said, "Yeah." He says, "I don't believe you." So he said, "Where's your husband?" He said, "What year did you get married?" It was like he started breaking into an interrogation, and I was like, "Holy smokes!" And first of all, she was laying down when she called, like, how do you FaceTime somebody in a public forum and you're in bed? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't even look like she brushed her teeth yet. It's like, why even do that? Like, you know, but and here's the thing. I don't think black women is the issue because a lot of black women are on the incline. I mean, they're killing everybody. They're outperforming black males. They're outperforming white women. They're outperforming white males. I mean, statistically, you know what I'm saying? And those women aren't calling the Kevin Samuels show. So, to your point.
Kevin Samuels made a good point. He was like, you know, the black woman is the most educated. And he was like, yeah, I mean, they're the most, what he said was, they're the most enrolled. Which is kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying?
They're the most enrolled. But you got to buy your ticket to get on the train.
That's a fact. But what if you jump off that train before it reaches the destination?
Well, that's cool, too, because, you know, look at Kanye. He was a college dropout.
Listen.
I'm just saying he was. $6.6 billion. I mean, first of all, I love Kanye, but this is not a Kanye thing. No. Before we get into that guy, I think we got to talk about our guy, Joe Buttons.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Joe Buttons. What's going on?
Wow.
What's going on with that guy?
Have you been I listened to the show, you know what I'm saying? I've always listened to the show, but my liking the show was based on the chemistry that they had. Like, it reminded me of sitting around with the homies talking shit.
Right. I never watched it. The only thing I used to watch was him and Academics, and then when Joe Buttons, when he started floating around to other podcasts, I kind of stopped listening.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I definitely was a fan of that one. Within the last couple months, let's say there's been some friction on air, and you can sort of see it if you watch the YouTube feeds. And I don't know. I mean, apparently what ended up happening is there's disputes and motherfuckers don't feel like they're being treated equally, and then that's it. But I think a lot of the issues that people are having with Joe in regards to this issue with his cohorts is he always sort of championed himself as the sort of like the champion of the creatives. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I'm turning these deals down for y'all. They're not giving me my metrics. They're not letting me know what's going on with the advertising and shit. Like, they're trying to change the user and listener experience with ads and money. I'm not gonna let them sell me into this shit. I'm doing this for the next motherfuckers who coming up behind me and shit. So cool. Then the issue ends up being that as far as the stories are concerned, he becomes this sort of he becomes the thing that he hated the most in essence in regards to this argument, because he had two dudes who helped him build the show. No, they weren't there since episode 1, but a lot of people ended up tuning into the show because of their overall chemistry, and they helped build the show. So for them to not be able to see metrics, for them to not be able to, participate in some of these other things in regards to advertising and revenues and all of that shit, and wanting to see actual numbers the same way you wanted to see from, big.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, he didn't want to show them the numbers. He didn't want to
have mercy.
And they was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so, but what did he say was the problem?
I mean, Joe said the problem was pretty much he laid it at the feet of these dudes didn't really bring any value to the show monetarily, so they shouldn't have any access to this sort of information. Damn. It's pretty much what it boiled down to.
Oh, so
I'm trying.
He said, you want to look at the books? Here, you're looking at them. Close the books back. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That old school fucking Jack Rabbit shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like.
And that's pretty much what their gripe is. As more money came, he became less and less transparent with, said monies. And
they said they want to see the books. Go down to the library. I don't know where are the books. I don't know about books. I
go ahead,
Joe Button, not Joe
ask
Books.
Big Red about the books if you want. He gonna hang you from a balcony like Flash, nigga. Like,
listen, my work hours are from 9 to 5.
No, Bird. It was Bird.
Maul said he changed when he started wearing Mary J. Blige hats.
Hey man, he be rocking them all cried out hats and shit.
I never seen the show. I haven't seen a Joe Button podcast since he left the academics thing, and I'm just not big on just pop culture stuff. I don't know. I guess I could be better. I have my own podcast.
It's been a thing. It's been a thing the last couple weeks, few weeks and shit, and it's just sort of all came ahead within the last few days and shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Poor Joe Buttons. He's always in some shit.
I wouldn't say that.
He's always in some drama.
I mean, yeah, dog. It's like, yo, trying, I keep getting that oil.
Oh man. So anyway, what else is going on in the world, Truck? Something you want to talk? Oh, because J. Cole album come out.
J. Cole album came out. I ain't gonna shit talk him.
J. Cole released a new album and also announced NBA.
He's in the the Basketball Africa League. It's the BAL, I guess.
The BAL, okay, and he's a patron of Rwanda.
He is. He's in the Mobutu suite.
He's in the Mobutu suite in Hotel Rwanda.
Yeah, that's a crazy line, dog.
Oh my God,
that's a crazy line.
He's African now. So J. Cole's the first rapper to ever go fully African, because the one thing about with hip hop, we've always borrowed things from African culture and African sounds, but you're never supposed to go full African.
Yeah, dog.
It's like whatever you do.
Yeah, it's like oh man, it's I don't want to shit talk the BAL and shit. It might be because basketball is a hotbed in Africa, but Africa is huge.
Right? How many teams they got?
I don't.
1,000.
That's what I'm saying. You know
what I mean? What's going on over there?
Africa is gargantuan.
And if they're so hard up for players, they let J. Cole on the team. I mean, like, doesn't he drink scissor? I mean, like, isn't he like a syrup head?
I don't know if he's a syrup head. But
he drinks. I saw him drink out of a cup.
Allegedly.
Was he drinking scissor?
He's also 36, so this is kind of a weird time to start a basketball career.
Very weird.
Not that 36 is old at all,
he's still
but
younger than I am.
Basketball
shout
old.
out 36-year-olds.
It's basketball old. That's a fact.
The
but
BLA.
Shout out to him, the BAL, the ball.
The BAL. He's in the what is it again?
The ball. The Basketball African League.
So it has no affiliation with the NBA.
They do have a partnership with the NBA. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Masai Ujiri from Toronto, he had a lot to do with because he goes there and sort of mines for African talent all the time. You know what I mean? Okay. It's how we got Joel. You know what I mean? Like
the other guy that played for their squad.
Pascal. Yeah, absolutely. There's always been a tradition of, African basketball players and shit.
That was the news.
Normally really fucking tall, but I don't know, man. This is his shot.
So what do you think about the album? You like the album?
No.
Okay.
No.
I listened to a few cuts. I really couldn't get into it. I was just like, I like J. Cole.
I mean, it's just like like I said, disrespectfully, it's not made for me. You know what I mean?
I just didn't really get a chance to get into it. Is No Name actually on this record? Because I saw some tweets that were like weird. I know him and No Name had like a little beef.
Yeah. Is she on the record? That was weird. I hope not.
I think she's on something called Miss Me or something like that. Is it? I don't think anyone here has listened yet.
I've skimmed through it. Just to be like, yeah, I'm familiar.
Did you like the freestyle he did though on the LA Leakers?
It was cool.
Right.
It was cool. Like Cole can rap.
Right.
Cole can rap. I ain't gonna. I ain't no hater. You know what I'm saying? He get busy, but I just don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care.
Damn.
It's not a bad thing. It's just not for me.
I hear you.
I just fuck.
I gotta listen to this album because just getting horrible reviews.
Dude, listen.
Some people love it.
You know, motherfuckers who get busy.
That's very true. I do.
So when you hear, motherfuckers who sort of, tout him in that way, like as one of them dudes who gets the busiest, I'm wearing my extra I got my extra rap goggles on, like you know what I mean.
Well, here's the thing. Somebody
I might be a harsher critic of J. Cole's music because of that.
Somebody sent me a tweet of a line, and they said, "Yo, they said we need more of this," and it was something about a line about Luigi's brother having an M on his head. And I didn't understand it. I was like, well, I guess
like he made
you mean
a
like
Mario bar?
like from the video game? Like Super Mario Bros? It was like, well, I was like, they shooting niggas in the street. Like, anyway, just like, I just don't understand why.
Shout out to Dreamville. They got some dudes that I really fuck with.
JID is dope.
I fuck with JID. JID gets busy for real. You know what I mean?
But J. Cole is dope. Let's not say.
I'm not saying he's not dope.
You just saying you don't like his record.
They don't do nothing for me.
Okay. Yeah, but he's dope.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, he can rap.
So that's not. We don't want to confuse people out
there. He can rap.
So in other news, Janet Jackson's birthday too. Like,
is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Penny. How long ago was that Good Time?
Hello.
40, 50 years ago?
Was it?
40?
40 years ago? Yeah, Good Times. She was Penny on Good Times, and then who was she on Different Strokes?
She was Willis' girlfriend. Like Willis could pull.
I know Janet Jackson, but maybe back then he could have, because he had dough. So you know what I mean. Maybe she was
living with the whites.
Living with the
not
whites.
Another nigga in sight.
Except Arnold. He had Arnold on the bottom bunk. They were the only niggas in Manhattan and shit. It seemed like them and Mr. T. They had 4 niggas on that show the whole time.
No,
they
had Dudley
Mr. T on the show.
But Dudley would always traffic into trauma. It was like,
he was
we
drama.
need a kid to get molested for a very special episode. Where Dudley at? Let's send him to the bike shop.
I know, to get butt fucked. You know what I'm saying? By a rapist bike rider.
That escalated quickly.
I'm just saying that's what happens when you get raped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
man, yeah.
Bad things.
When you
strip
it all away.
We may have to strike that last statement from the record. The butt fucking, if that offends anyone out there.
Listen.
I just want to make sure.
I think the violation of the actual rape should be what causes the offense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not where they stick
what
it
happens.
Because you can get eardrum rape too. I mean, like if some motherfucker, if a person keeps trying to give you a
spider
wet
monkey?
willy. No, I'm just saying, like a motherfucker keep trying to give you a wet willy. I mean, that's so disgusting that it's almost close to being like raped. I mean, like, if a person keeps wet willying you,
that's a fight.
I mean,
that's a fight.
Well, yeah, but I mean, of course, a rape would lead to a fight too. I mean, or at least I think attempted rape. I mean, I think it starts kind of with a little bit of a struggle.
You would hope there was a struggle.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a struggle, and then I think that
because I think the rape would happen if you won the fight. You know what I mean?
This what I kind of assume that, unless
you would have
you're
to
the raper. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
in which case, when you win the fight, the rape continues.
I mean,
this is only prison rape. I'm only talking about prison rape now. I'm not talking about man on women, because that's
which I hear is a lot less fucking prevalent these days and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know a shit ton of dudes locked up at this point in my life anymore, but
yeah, me either. But I don't know too many guys that went to jail that got American meat. You know what I mean? Like the knife.
No, Leroy, I don't want no grilled cheese.
I mean, this guy stuck a knife up that guy's butt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he literally said, next time it's gonna be shit on my knife instead of my dick.
Damn.
That's what happened. He raped him first, and then he said if he told anybody, then he would stab him.
No. I'm talking about the
American Me. I just watched it last week.
I'm talking
Why?
about
I don't know.
the drug lord thing where they took the guy who wouldn't do the deal with them, and they took his son and they stuffed a knife up his ass.
Ew, they were
just took a knife, fit your ass like American Me.
They was just trying to make.
That was a Fat Joe line.
It was.
Shout out Fat Joe.
Yeah, he's still out here, man.
I guess you like that movie.
He's still out here.
Fat Joe must.
Remember that movie with him and John Leguizamo?
Oh, what was that called?
I forget. It was wild though. Painted John Leguizamo as a gangster, and that was the funny part.
And was Fat Joe a gangster doing this?
He was. He was also.
I never saw the movie. I just saw the trailer. That's when Hollywood was trying to leverage any rapper they could get just to say, oh damn, what you call it in it? And they'd be like showing the trailer, it'd be the rapper, but you get to the movies, nigga had one line and some shit. You'd be like, what the fuck was that? Like, yo, Heavy D's and fucking Killing Mockingbird. It's like, yo, he's only got one line.
Fucking WC is King Lear and shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? They was trying to fucking use rappers. I mean, yo, man, shout out DMX though. Speaking of rappers and movies, yo, DMX was getting fucking.
He had a run.
He had a run. 8 million a fucking movie.
He had a run.
Damn.
He had a run of
damn.
massive
God bless
proportions.
that man. God bless that man, DMX. I mean, he showed people how it's really done. You know, the dog. It's like, DMX, you nigga want it, we got it, come and get it, my nigga with it, all you gotta do is say it, baby.
Yeah, he played,
rest in peace,
he
man.
played our primal sensibilities, you know what I'm saying?
He did. He's like, she was Tonda, Tanisha, Brenda, Lakeisha, Tonda, Tanisha.
There's a questionable line in that song.
Paula, Felicia. He has a questionable lines and everything. He said, all you cats that been in jail before, suck my dick.
That was crazy.
It's like, what else is going on? So, J. Cole, African basketball player, Janet Jackson's birthday, rest in peace, DMX. New album's coming out, too. And his roster looks sick.
The roster for that album looks crazy.
Smokes.
I am looking forward to that.
Exodus.
I hope it's not one of those things that I'm sad that I looked forward to it. You know what I mean? Once it comes out, like I hope it lives up to my own personal expectations, and I know that's unfair, but
Right. I mean, it's
that
always,
roster is crazy. Like the
roster is
guest
crazy.
list is crazy on there.
The roster's crazy. So I mean, you know what? And speaking of hip hop, I guess we can't just switch off the hip hop. We got to stay on a little bit. Sorry, not sorry, Truck. Well, what's your thoughts?
The fuck is that?
Sorry, not sorry. You know what I'm talking about?
The
Jay-Z, Nas.
oh,
Sorry, not sorry. DJ Khaled.
I hate it. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it.
Gilly the Kid expressed some,
I hate the beat flip.
criticism. He expressed some criticism
I
on
hate
this
the old
song.
man rhymes and shit.
The old man rhymes?
Old man rhymes.
Damn.
Crypto Nas is like, I don't give a fuck.
Damn.
I'm not in it.
He
Like,
said he's basically cryptocurrency Scarface.
I feel like every time
Join us.
with exception for one joint, but even Success, even the joint off the American Gangster joint, it's like I feel like they're just sort of trying to out sophisticate each other and shit.
Okay,
And that's not what I want when I hear
okay.
Jay-Z and Nas. I want niggas to get busy.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about how much y'all grown. Y'all done made two whole albums based off that exact premise. I get it. Do y'all motherfuckers still get busy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
So you want them to get gully with it. So I mean, what's your favorite era Jay-Z was expecting? What was your favorite era Nas?
they did it. They did it well on Success. Like, they only did it well one time. But even on that, it was still sort of them trying to out sophisticate each other and shit.
Are they both on Black Republicans or that?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So is that
It was
the
Black
same,
Republicans, Success, and this shit. Yeah, another one.
And you think this one is the worst?
Absolutely,
display of Jay-Z
100%.
now?
It's the worst. It's the worst Jay-Z and Nas joint.
So what do you think the worst line is in it?
I mean, I get all of that shit, like that whole another B scheme and shit. It's like
I didn't get that. I was like, is he talking about Beyonce? Is he talking about billions? I'm like,
exactly.
but
Both.
But there's.
Can't forget the other B.
But he does. How many B's does
Mrs.
he have?
Ella
How many
B.
billions does Jay-Z have?
Huh?
He doesn't have as many as Kanye.
I mean, up until recently, yeah, that's probably
Six B's.
Yeah,
For Kanye.
I mean,
Kanye wins again. Ha ha.
I don't know. I feel like you have to be a certain sort of, dastardly and diabolical individual to amass $1 billion anyway. So, I mean, we're really talking about some of the worst people in the world. Absolutely.
You think so?
Absolutely.
They're a bunch of small guys.
Listen, you got to be a certain type of asshole to amass $1 billion. And to do it 6 times over, you're a fucking psychopath. Absolutely. 100%.
No, I don't
There are
know.
no well-adjusted billionaires. Not a fucking one. Not ever.
Well, I don't know. And I see your point. And I have to do some more research on that, Truck.
Yeah. But as far as them rapping
Well
together
noted.
and shit, I didn't like it. I ain't like that Khaled shit. I ain't like it at all. I fucking hate it.
Khaled. That's the name of the album. Khaled.
It is. And
I like DJ Khaled.
I like DJ Khaled,
He always
too.
says something positive.
I like Khaled. I like his positivity.
Now
but
the song though.
didn't
The
dig
sorry,
like
not sorry. The first time I heard it, I kind of really got into it. And
who asked for Song Cry 2.0? Who asked for this?
yeah, I did get emotional listening to it because just the idea of it, but the lyrics weren't really that good when I think
They
about
weren't.
it.
Even
But
if
the
you,
sentiment
I get the sentiment.
is mind.
I get it. It wouldn't have made me cry like Steve Stout, but
Oh, that's what Steve Stout said.
yeah, he's like, my eyes are watering. Like,
I kind of got a little bit of that. A little bit. Because I first listened to it, I'm listening to it, and I watched the video. And I think half of it was sad because I wasn't there. But I wasn't invited.
I don't know, man. They show little previews of the shit beforehand, and you didn't hear the record, and it's like, oh shit.
Like it's gonna
They
be
in
hard.
Vegas. Jay got this wild ring on and shit. They in tuxes.
They could have been spitting
crazy.
some hard shit. Like it could have been like
Crazy.
Otis. It could have been like Otis. And if they went Otis, then it would have been an uproar.
That was one of the
But
most niggerish videos of all time,
they-
and I
they-
loved it.
Yeah, they should have went Otis, but they went more like Sound of Music. You know what I'm saying?
They went more.
But I dug it.
It was like the scenes of Casino that you didn't give a fuck about.
Yeah, that's exactly. It was like B-roll. It was like the trailer.
That's
It
it.
was like the trailer for Casino that didn't make it.
It's like, yo, I get it. Y'all niggas got money. Great. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna get busy though? Like,
They should.
What we here for?
They should have went on. They should have went Otis on them.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Because it's the obvious is to bring out the tuxes. It's like we already seen you in a tux before too.
Nas been doing this shit since Street Dreams. Like, what the fuck was that? 97.
But at the same time,
Jay-Z was in a tux and Can't Knock the Hustle. What was
but
that,
at the
97?
same time, I did get emotional when the first time I watched it, and I was like, because of the sentiment.
It's a beautiful
Not
thing.
really necessary. It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful
It's
thing.
a beautiful work of art.
Absolutely.
The way it's shot is beautiful. Jay-Z and Nas, the beef, them squashing the beef, that's great.
That was 25 years
from
ago.
where Nas came. Was that 25 years ago?
Nigga. That
Damn.
was a long time ago.
I'm just saying, still, I hold grudges. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I'm still mad at people from the old studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't let it go. I told him, I said, hey, listen, beef's over, but I lied. So what? I lied.
I mean,
okay, I fucking lied. I said the beef was over, but it's on. It's on, motherfuckers.
Ain't never over.
It's never over. It's never over. I'm not Jay-Z. I'm not Nas. I'm not squashing anything.
Yo, man. I mean,
I'm going to war.
I'm hearing Jay-Z and Nas doing a joint. I'm like, oh shit, I'm interested. And then it's like I'm immediately uninterested.
Nah, Doug. You know, I just wish I get where you're going. I wish they would have just threw on a raw break beat and just went ham.
We never get that, but we don't really get that from Jay-Z anymore anyway.
Right.
It's like it's always this sort of like Jay-Z's rhyme sort of comes in three main fucking topics now, and it's only these three things: my family, and my wife and family. I got more money than you, and you should be doing shit like this. You dumb niggas. Like,
you big dummy.
You dumb niggas.
You're like, listen to me, I'm Jay-Z.
You dumb niggas narrative and shit.
Dummy.
And I'm not
He's
above
right,
it.
though.
I'm not above it. Like I normally like it.
I'm not above a Jay-Z
like
education. I'll go to Jay-Z school.
Listen, 444 was one of my favorite Jay-Z albums.
Sign me up for Jay-Z school.
I loved it.
I'll go right now.
But that's his rhyme cocktail. Like my wife and my kids, you dumbass niggas should do shit better.
Big dummies.
And I got more money than y'all. You know what I'm saying? And that's been a narrative that he's been running since '95.
Right. I get it. But
hey. Yeah, man. So I just didn't care. So you're
sorry.
I didn't care.
But you're
sorry, not sorry.
Okay.
Beautiful sentiment, but I fucking hated it. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, but you hate the lyrics, but you love the idea.
I love the idea of it. I love the idea of 50-year-old rappers. You know what I'm saying? And tuxes and rich. And that shit is gangster. You know what I'm saying? But talk that shit.
Very gangster. They should have went Otis.
Talk that shit.
They should have went Otis.
Talk that shit.
Break beats.
Crypto Nas is like, yo, we already know. Nas is up. Like, he got in on some investing shit, and that shit is a beautiful thing. He got in early on a lot of dope shit. Dropbox. Fucking
Uber.
Ring. Uber. Right. All of that shit. He got in super early on that shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? That shit is dope. But I don't want to hear that shit. Give me that shit in the book. Why don't you
want to hear it?
Give it to me in a book. I'll read it.
Okay.
But if I got a minute to listen to you get your shit off, get your shit off.
Right. But I mean, really, it's not that deep. I mean, you could just align yourself with the right people who have access to those, venture capital deals where people are seeking dough.
That's
and just give them money.
That's
it's
a fact.
like, yo, hey, what you
like
got
an angel
going
investor.
On? Yeah, what you got going on? I'll give you some money. Here you go.
Yeah, like the motherfuckers who do them Silicon Valley, them hubs and shit, where they got, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a bunch of motherfuckers staying in their house and just developing apps and ideas. And, like, they foster that shit. Like, I get it. That shit is ill. But I have a different sort of rap sensibility. So if I'm hearing that two of the greats are on a joint, I'm not trying to hear them trying to out my pinky go higher when I drink. And, like, I don't want to hear all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking snooty patootie shit. Get busy.
He talked about his ice in his glass. He talked about the ice.
That was a wonderful ring
Japanese
he had
whiskey
on.
over the mezzanine.
That's dope. That shit's it paints a picture, but I don't need you to paint that picture. You're the richest nigga in the world. Oh, no, can you still get busy?
That's Kanye. Kanye West is richer than Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Kanye's better than him if we're using money to measure.
I'm not using money as a metric.
We're not.
I don't. Yeah. I don't.
Me either, Chuck. Me either. You're right. That's silly. Yeah. But if we were, we would say Kanye was better.
He'd be Lex fucking Luthor.
Kanye?
Yeah, I think he wants to be Lex Luthor.
I think Kanye is a more like a. I think he looks at himself as Superman.
And you typically live long enough to see yourself become the villain. He might see himself as Superman, but you're Lex Luthor, dog. You're fucking Lex Luthor.
But Lex Luthor had a heart, though. You know what I loved about Lex Luthor? Like, I was a big fan of Lex Luthor, actually.
I can see that.
Watching the Star Wars.
I can
watching
literally see
Superman.
that.
Like, I mean, I was rooting for Lex Luthor.
I can see that, dog.
And my favorite line of Lex Luthor, my favorite 2 lines from Lex Luthor is when he's talking to the aliens, and he's basically about to turn over Earth to the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
He said, listen, I can deliver Earth. And the son of your jailers, Jor-El. He's like, they're like, how the fuck do you know that, Lex Luthor? He's like, I'm making my business to know all business. I mean, I fucking loved it. And they said, well, what would you like in compensation for this? He says, I just want Australia. You know, I like beachfront property. And they said, Lex Luthor, ruler of Australia. Like, please push the button. But then my all-time favorite part from Lex Luthor is after Superman fucks them all up, and Lex Luthor was like, "Ha, Superman! They fell for our trick."
Mm-hmm. That's sort of, you know what?
I loved it.
That's the wild thing.
I fucking loved it. Superman said, "Stop it, Luthor! I'm not falling for that bullshit."
Lex Luthor versus Superman was literally a fucking
brains against brawn.
No, it was more
brains
deeper than that.
Brawn.
It was capitalism versus the strongest being in the universe's the strongest being in the universe's idea. It was the strongest being in the universe's idea of what he thinks of humanity. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Clark Kent, meager, soft-spoken,
right.
sucker shit. You know what I mean? That was his idea of humanity.
But look,
facts.
But on the new movie, which is, what is the new Superman movie with all of them?
The Justice League?
Justice League. The most powerful line of that movie is when they ask Superman, what's his favorite part about Earth? And he was like, couldn't think of anything. That was deep. That was deep.
The idea of a Superman is deep.
Well, I have my views on that. That they probably will get us flagged first day. And this is our first podcast. All you other podcast people, maybe you should start taking fucking notes from me and Truck here and learn how to do a fucking podcast the right way, you idiot.
Listen. Don't add me in on his craziness. Lex Luthor speaks, and he speaks some truth. You know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about?
Nothing. I just compared you to Lex Luthor for a second.
I'm not Lex Luthor.
How do you sit here in that shirt and tell me you're not Lex Luthor with them shades on?
You don't like my shirt?
I love it, but that's some Lex Luthor shit.
What's wrong with my shirt?
Listen, I love it. I love
Lord
it.
have mercy. I like your shirt.
Listen.
Let's Tesseract. Let's Tesseract.
But yeah, man, so this is what, episode 1?
Episode 1, man. Even though we did, how many demos?
We did a couple.
We did a couple, but, you know, we won't get into why those demos won't see the light of day. And we, you know, ever since the workplace has been integrated with, you know, colors, maybe...
They just don't work hard enough.
They just don't. They're just so damn lazy.
Just shiftless.
Just shiftless.
Shiftless Negroes.
Lord have mercy. Will they ever get it together?
They won't. They won't.
Shout out Starburn Audio. Thank you for giving us a chance, and we're really excited to be working with you guys. And this is it. The Raw Report, Dice Raw Report, whatever we're calling it. Doesn't even matter. Just buy it.
Hey, man, episode 1. You know what I'm saying?
And shout out Nicki Mom-naj.
I guess.